Hey everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with December Daily Day 2. So I have 5 photos today of a little outing that I can tell you about as I'm working. So I am going to go to my book here, and this was the page from yesterday. Then this is the back side of that. So I already know I have this to work with, but I have 5 photos here. So what I'm going to do is, because this is kind of the photo about the main sort of event we did, and then this one is a more like supporting photo, and I guess I could also put that down there, but one of those 2 places this is going to land. Then I have 3 more photos, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, instead of using the same kind of page protector, I'm going to use one with 4 3x4 slots. So I keep the page protectors, at least part of them, in my book so I can just pull them out when I need them. So there's that. I like to have them there as I'm designing my layout here. So then, oops, I'm sorry, I just hit my camera. That's what happens when I stand. So these are 2 photos of friends, and then a photo of a little a glass of cider and an empty glass that there used to be cider in there. So I'm going to kind of, I think this is the thing I'm going to do, like this. I could also do it like this, but so the way these events happened is basically sort of in this order, from here to here to there to there. And I guess that's not completely important. If I do it this way, this does look a little bit top heavy. But I also don't know that I want like 2 cards next to each other there, and I don't really like that. I also am not a big fan of that. So I think we're going back to this is going to be my arrangement. And I think I can kind of decide what I'm going to do. This is kind of actually sort of cool the way that works out with that there. Now, then I'm going to want to fill these pockets. So I'm going to go to my cards, and immediately I opened this up and I found this card that says Good Times. So I think I'm going to grab that card right away because this was Good Times Together. And I could do it like this, but I think we're going to do it like this. Now the other thing I'm looking at is I'm also going to need to put some paper behind this, so that I might want to coordinate it back to this. So what I could do, instead of, I do like the way this looks, I think so I can get some more pattern on here depending on what I pick for my 4x6 card or my 4x6 slot. I think I'll put the same papers in here and tie that back. So now I need to go to my 4x6 cards here just to see, and I actually have quite a bit to write about this. So I could do this little The Story of Today card, and I'm looking at this, and I'm probably going to want to back this on another piece of paper, just with the way that looks. So I'm looking here to see, this is way too much brown, because one of the things I could do is would be to just use this as just a spot for more decoration and use that for my main journaling. So that is something I could do. And I'm thinking if I've got a lot of red here, I'm going to want some green up there. Or this could be kind of funny. This one says 'Tis the Season. This is an older card that I'm going to show you now. And I think the reason I haven't used it a lot is that it is kind of a manila color, and not the rest of these, none of the rest of these are. This is from an older collection. And then I also have this noteworthy card here, but there's not really enough room for my journaling. So I kind of like the Story of Today card, but what I'm realizing is I don't like that next to the Good Times card. Even though I like the sentiment of the Good Times card, I don't really like that next to it. I think it's too much red. So now we're going to go back to here, and I've got that little, oh, what fun card. It was fun, so that could work. I have this card, which is patterned, and that would give me an opportunity for a little bit of embellishment, like maybe right there. Since I don't really need this, and I don't need a place to do journaling. So this is cute too, but again, not loving that. Just thinking here, because I could use this and just kind of back that on there, and then do that 'tis the season to be jolly. But I think that's a lot going on again. I also should probably think about what my papers are going to be here. So I like this card. I'm not sure that I want to bring in that blue though. The reason being, it's aqua, which is the main colors of my kit. So I'm just going to keep looking here and see if there's anything that strikes me as, yep, this needs to be it. This is one of the problems about having so much stuff, and or that, you know, definitely the first cards, this is a little bit harder as well. There's that Merry Christmas card. But again, I think just too much red. That's what I'm thinking. So far, anyway. Now, I do like that as an alternative to this one, so I'm going to keep that out. This is not a holiday tradition. I don't need the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm just thinking about this. I have this Fa La 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 card somewhere in this mess of cards, and I can't find it. It's like a see-through piece. Although, I don't know. I guess it's not necessarily appropriate for this. It's just I was thinking that because I've got an extra pocket there. So I've got two ideas there of what I could use. And then, now I learned yesterday that I can't use the 6x6 pad for behind here. You know, I could use it as it is there, but I'm not really loving that idea because I think you don't see very much of that holly there. Although I could cut it down so that you do. That's the other idea. So then if I did that, I'd probably want to use that and not this one. Lots of talking to ourselves when we do this, isn't there? So now I'm just kind of looking at my paper pad, and I think I want to see some darker pattern in here. And here's another Fa La 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 piece. I could use this green, but let's see. So, oh yeah, I'd have it behind 2. So I could do that. That's an idea. I'm going to also look at my scraps here just to see what I have for scraps, because if I have a scrap that works really well. I kind of like how that brings in the lighter. It's a little bit too short though. That piece is anyway. Unless I turn it this way. And do I like, okay, here's the other question. Do I like those two patterns together? And the answer to that is not all that much. That's another green that I'd be bringing in. So I'm not wild about that. Now this green is that green basically. There we go. I think I like that. And it's simple. This is another thing I could use just in here and then just put something on it, but then I think I'd want to use red here. Okay, that's too much thinking. Sometimes I really try to tell myself that I need to just go with my gut. Whatever the first thing is that I find that I really kind of like, and that cuts out on some of the time behind this project for us. Okay, so let's do that. We're gonna go with this. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I like to glue these. Oh, that's right. I want to do this. I'm gonna have to do this one too. So let's take these out. Kind of how I plan them. So these two photos are going to be back to back, and I think what I'm going to do is just kind of, I do this often so that they don't go flying, so you don't see the like white backs of things, and I glue them back to back like this, and then I just trim them if I need to. And this is very exciting for me. I bought this Chamel Glitter Girl scissors during the Black Friday sales on one of the websites. I think it was Cherry on Top. I had a pretty good coupon thing, or not coupon, but what do I want to say? They like have a points program, and I had a pretty good amount of those. So all right, so I want to see a little bit more of this. So what I'm going to do is cut a little bit off both sides and a little bit off the top here. All right, sorry, that was not very exciting that I wasn't talking. Forget sometimes because you're thinking so hard. Okay. Now, do I like how this looks? I want to make sure it's kind of even here. And there's a lot more on the sides than there is the top and bottom, so I'm going to take a little bit more off the top here. I use a Caterpillar Pro trimmer, which is really nice because it's the one with the light behind it. I'll just bring this out. You have this light here, so you can really see. It's easy for me to see when I'm taking off these tiny little pieces like that, what I'm actually taking off. And that was important because I'm getting really close to that D there. And I think that's about as far as I'm gonna go. So it's not exactly even. I still have more space on the sides than I do the top and bottom, but I'm okay with that. All right. So there's that one. And what I do then is I kind of play around with the pockets, and I sort of like leave stuff out until I'm ready to put it all in, because then I can add things to it. Even like this, I probably won't put anything more on, but you never know. I say that, and then I always do. So, okay, so then what I'm going to do with this, and oh look, here's the pattern again if I wanted to repeat it over here. But I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to let that be there. So what I'll do here is I'm going to glue this. This would have been a really nice card to use because it has the numbers on it. But I'm going to glue this. I'm kind of looking to see if I have a straight edge here to this one. just want to look and see. Yeah, my photographs are pretty close to that. I don't want to end up with too much extra space. Okay, so now I am getting a little bit of a shadow here. I haven't gotten it cut completely. Right, so that is the danger when you do this. And if you don't care if they slide around in the pockets, that's, you know, no big deal. It's just for me personally, I don't love it when they do that. So, okay, so there's the card from the other side. There's that, and then I need to do this on it. And I think I'll leave myself just a little bit of more space on the bottom so that I can embellish it with whatever I decide I'm going to embellish this with. Because gosh knows I have plenty of stuff to do that with, so I might as well take advantage. And I don't think this is cut completely right, but okay. So we've got that. This is a little hard to see on my mat because of the green I'm using. Sorry about that. And then now what I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to cut it to this card, even though I can't, even though I'm not going to glue it because obviously they're not going to be back to back, but that'll at least give me an idea. And I did a really, really bad cutting job there, guys. Yikes. Really, really bad cutting job. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then what happens is for like tomorrow's, I can trim it more if I need to. I always end up with a pile of little, I don't know if you can see that today, but a little pile of scraps to the side there because I do that all the time. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. These two are the same size, so I'm going to kind of repeat that idea here. And there we go. Okay, so now I have that and that and this. And now time to embellish. I'm thinking, you know, something raised here, three-dimensional would be good. So I'm going to grab my three-dimensional stuff here. Ooh, and I'm looking at this. I have a wood veneer Celebrate here. I also have a wood veneer Spirit here. Those two next to each other would be too much, but oh my goodness, it would be appropriate because this is beer and this is cider. So this is actually my book club here. These wood veneer words, by the way, are from Michael's, from their Dollar Spot, I think either last year or the year before. So I kind of like the idea of doing that versus this. So I'm just going to put that there for now as I do this. But anyway, so I don't think you can get these this year. Now I have some cork, but I think I'm going to stick with wood, I think. And I have plenty of it. I have lots of it, actually. Eek. I have a lot more wood than I thought I did. I'm going to go into this, because this is from last year, just to see what I have. These are remnants from the last couple of years. Plus, I have plenty of stars and hearts here. These I can use, though, all year long, so... All right, so we have the Celebrate, we have Magical Moments, we have Deck the Halls, which that is not appropriate, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Comfort and Joy, Stars, Bells, Candy, and I don't know that I want to call this Magical Moments. Twinkle probably would be appropriate. Okay, so not finding any there I'm loving, so let's look at this. This is wood veneer from this year, Oh, and I totally forgot there's a big ho-ho-ho on the back of this. Remember that. And then these stars. So I'm going to pull these out to see what I can find. So I've got 'Tis the Season and Deck the Halls and Bring on the Twinkle. So Bring on the Twinkle would be appropriate here since we've got a cocktail in our hands. And then, okay, so here's the one thing I'm not liking about how this is falling now is I don't like these two things across from each other like that per se. So now I'm thinking, yeah, I'm really not liking that actually. Okay, here's the other option that we can do. Nope, I like it better this way. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. I'm just going to use my ATG here. Just be careful if you have stuff like this because, boy, these words are... I broke more than one when I used these last year. And they do have some glue on the back of them, but I don't think it does a very good job. So, okay, so that Celebrate is done. I'm going to tuck that in my pocket. And I did do something I don't often do here, and that's I actually glued it on the inside here, which sometimes can A, wreck page protectors, and B, it can cause it to move. So I may fix that eventually because the cards on the outside, on the other side, will sometimes fall out. So I'm just going to add the Bring on the Twinkle here. I do need a number still, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a number on this card probably. That's something I could have done here. And I'm thinking green would be good for this. I'm just looking to see if I have a 2 in a green that would work. And I do. And I think, let's put that just on this card because there's so much space here that I think it'd be good. And I could write my date below this if I want to. I may do that. We'll see. And I think I'd like to get a little bit of wood up here maybe. So the story behind this is my book club. My friend who is hostessing this time is kind of in the middle of moving, or she's going to be moving, and she wasn't sure if their house would be sold or not at this point. So she decided to do our book club at a local brewery. And I live in southeastern Wisconsin, so we certainly have plenty of breweries where I live. And so we did our book club at this brewery, which was really fun. It's called Lakefront, and they have the best brewery tour. And being from Wisconsin, trust me, I am really an aficionado of those brewer tours. Okay, so I'm going to put the magical moment circle over here. And so they also, of course, as part of the brewery tour, give you beer as part of it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I think this is good for the main embellishing. But anyway, they give you beer, so you get, you know, in samples of beer. So we sampled the beer, then we went on this tour, and because it is in Milwaukee, this particular brewery bought the bottling line from the Laverne and Shirley TV show. So towards the end of the tour, they always have two women be the pretend they're Laverne and Shirley, and you put a glove on the bottle as it goes by, which if any of you know that about Laverne and Shirley, they did that in the opening sequence. So anyway, I was there earlier this year, and it was me and another friend from this same group, and then they picked me again, and I said, oh no, I've done this already. So I pointed to another friend next to me so that two of my other friends could do that. So anyway, that's the kind of crazy fun we have in Wisconsin. All right, so now I'm thinking I might want like a little bit of sparkle or something on here. And I'm thinking maybe an enamel dot would work. So anyway, that's what these two are doing here. And then after that, we had tried to go to a cider place because that's kind of a, you know, a new sort of thing is cider. And we had tried to do that on this trip, but, or the last time we were together, and we weren't able to do it because they were so busy. So we did that today, or yesterday. It's not today. All right, so I think what I want to do is just add a little bit of red in, and I just found it in my under the tree pop drops here. I love these things. I bought multiples of them. And I'm just gonna sit a little one somewhere on here, just to give it a little bit of something different, a little shine. And I'm putting those on the outside. I do like to do a combination of things on the inside and outside. All right, so I'm looking at this, and I think I'm going to call this one done. I have to journal, but I'll journal off camera, and then I'll get this up and ready for you to go. I like the way this works. All right, everybody, I'll be back with another video again tomorrow. Bye.